We are here. We are here to celebrate the divine spirit of love with our bodies and with our hearts, with our souls, with our minds, and with song and with word. We're here to give because of the abundance that has already been given to each of us. And we're here to share with one another and to receive because we were created to depend on one another and to love one another fully and to be loved fully. We're here to celebrate the differences that might otherwise divide us. Differences of our age or of our body, differences of culture, differences of opinion, differences of ability, of religious conviction, and spiritual intention. We are here to put life into perspective, to celebrate what matters, to laugh about all of those things that we just take too seriously, and to cry about the things that truly touch our hearts. We are here to free our minds, to grow our souls, and to change the world. We are here. Good morning, and happy almost Earth Day. A Sunday we here at Fountain Street Church have come to call Reverence for Life Sunday. I am the Reverend Christopher Breaux. I use he, him pronouns. I serve as the acting senior minister here at this cathedral of love and this temple of peace that we call Fountain Street Church. And it's my honor to welcome you here this morning to our celebration of reverence for life. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you believe or what you don't believe in at all. Whether you're a nature lover or you will do everything to stay indoors and avoid it altogether. No matter who you love or who you are loved by, whether you are a Fountain Street Church lifer or this is your very first time celebrating with us. All who are joy-filled, all who are filled with hope, and all who come to this space with the myriad of emotions that life presents. Each of you, all of us, have a place here in this community where love and justice and inclusion are the shared work of our liberating faith. So on behalf of the community who calls this their spiritual home, and on behalf of my colleague, Reverend Matthew, and our very own church members, Ginny, Mikita, and Margi Peterson, who joins with me for this observance of Earth Day, let me welcome you to this time with one another on this beautiful and joyous Sunday morning. As an invitation to our worship this morning, I would like to share with you the words of Wilfred Pelletier and Ted Poole. Wherever you are is home, and the earth is paradise. Wherever you set your feet is holy land. You don't live off it like a parasite. You live in it, and it in you. Or you don't survive. And that is the only worship of God there is. So this morning as we gather for our second COVID-19 Reverence for Life celebration with one another, may we all come to see the earth as a place in which we both live within and that lives within us. May we all truly orient our lives in such a way that we offer true reverence for life. And may we all find comfort and nourishment in the presence of one another as we celebrate the gift of this fragile island home that we share. This is Fountain Street Church. This is Reverence for Life Sunday, and I am so glad you are with us. Welcome.
As we begin this service, honoring Earth, all of life, and humanity's place within the larger web of creation, we acknowledge the First Nations, the first peoples to call this place home, and invite you to do the same from wherever you are watching. Here in West Michigan, the descendants of the Anishinaabe still work, play, hunt, fish, and live on these lands. As inhabitants of the unceded ancestral lands of the first peoples of Michigan, we honor the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi people, also known as the people of the three fires, past, present, and future. And we acknowledge with gratitude the land herself, of whom we are extensions, and upon whom we now live and work.
For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of night. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
A poem by John Ruskin. There is religion in everything around us, a calm and holy religion in the unbreathing things in nature. It is a meek and blessed influence, stealing in, as it were, unaware upon the heart. It comes quickly and without excitement. It has no terror, no gloom. It does not rouse up the passions. It is untrammeled by creeds. It is written on the arched sky. It looks out from every star. It is on the sailing cloud and in the invisible wind. It is among the hills and valleys of the earth, where the shrubless mountaintop pierces the thin atmosphere of eternal winter, or where the mighty forest fluctuates before the strong wind, with its dark waves of green foliage. It is spread out like a legible language upon the broad face of an unsleeping ocean. It is the poetry of nature. It is that which uplifts the spirit within us and which opens to our imagination a world of spiritual beauty and holiness. I've always been an animal lover. Sometime in my childhood, my exasperated mother said, "When you have your house of your own, you can have as many pets as you want." At one point, we had 2 rats, 2 sugar gliders, a rabbit, 2 cats, 2 dogs, some corn snakes, and a turtle. She had no idea. One year, my daughters and I used a cart from the kitchen to bring all of our pets forward in the sanctuary to be blessed. Now I'm down to one dog, and what a dog he is. Archie is the companion I've dreamed about. He's the first dog I've raised from puppyhood. I'm sure that's one reason we're so simpatico. When I got him, I became aware for the first time of the full meaning of scamper and frolic. His presence awakens my heart. The way he sits on my lap in the car and leans his head against my breast elicits a profound sense of being loved, accepted, and needed. I've had Archie for 4 years. The first Earth Day after I got him, we were living in Tennessee. When he was 2, we made it to Reverence for Life. It was sort of like having a baby dedicated in the place where my spirit has a home. It felt reverent, and it felt important, and it was also fun. Archie loved meeting all the new people and curious, interesting creatures, and I loved sharing him with so many of my friends in this sanctuary of my heart. I've been part of the Reverence for Life service since the beginning, when John Schweitzer and I processed as Green Man and Green Woman. One year, I stood on the dais and sang with Bobby the Boa entwined around my shoulders and neck. Another year, I enlisted several actor friends, and we called to worship as wolf, eagle, and bear from the corners of the balcony. Each year, people from within and outside of the Fountain Street community bring their pets or representations of their pets to join with others who recognize the true divinity of the relationship we have with these creatures and want to share it. This service is an opportunity for us to celebrate the value of our earth and to see ourselves as part of it rather than in dominion over it. I look forward to the day when we can share our animal friends in real life again, when we can smile together and see each other's smiles at the gifts of our furry companions in our lives, and when we can touch one another with love and affection the way we have gratefully been able to touch our pets during this last difficult year. Reverence bestows honor. Reverence demonstrates respect. Reverence brings the Spirit of God to an idea or an activity. This service reminds us of the reverence our world deserves from its self-aware creatures. Living with reverence toward our world, we honor and respect it, and everything that is part of it, and we recognize the Spirit of God in all. Blessed be.
For the earth forever turning, for the skies, for every sea, for our lives, for all we cherish, sing we our joyful song of peace. For the mountains, hills, and pastures in their silent majesty, for the stars, for all the heavens, sing we our joyful song of peace. For the sun, for rain and thunder, for the seasons' harmony, for our lives, for all creation, sing we our joyful praise of thee. For the world we raise our voices, for the home that gives us birth. In our joy we sing, returning home to our blue-green hills of earth.
For those of you watching at home, there will be a few images that I show during my share with you today of animals who've taken their last breath. These animals appear to be sleeping. They're quite beautiful, but I did want to give you a warning in case it's something that might be a trigger for you. 3 years ago, I began the spiritual practice of tending to the broken, often dead bodies of animals I find, usually on roads and trails. Continuing on my way, letting cars, trucks, school buses, and bikes further crush their bodies feels cowardly and cruel. I can no longer look away and not do something. For me, reverence in death is reverence for life. Every being, human and non-human, is imbued with the divine spirit. Our bodies are temples, and they are no less valuable in death. Neither we nor they are just a shell. Human beings have been reverently caring for one another's dead bodies since about 10,000 BC, and scientists are continuing to discover similar situations and practices in the non-human animal kingdom. Elephants who happen upon the bones or carcass of another elephant, even unrelated to them, will touch them gently with their trunks while remaining quiet and cover them with leaves and grass. They will stay with the body for days if it's one of their own. A veterinarian colleague of mine has a farm sanctuary for abandoned and rescued animals. After the death of Parsley, a mini pygmy goat, a brown swift cow that was also part of the family, her name was Bridget, refused to leave Parsley's body. And then, after Parsley's body was removed, stayed there, refusing to eat for 3 days. Many of us already tenderly care for the bodies of our companion animals. This is our sweet Katie. After she died in 2018, the veterinarian carefully wrapped her body in a soft blanket before transporting her to Sleepy Hollow, one of 2 cemeteries in Grand Rapids, the only inhabitants of which are companion animals. When I happen upon an animal's body, I find a safe place to pull over, don a pair of surgical gloves. I keep these in my car and in my coat pockets, and carefully approach the animal. Most recently, it was a robin who may have just been stunned by a window collision. As her body was still warm, I gently moved her to a soft bed of grass and leaves, spoke words of love and healing to her, and left hoping she might recover. Last weekend, I found this little one on the White Pine Trail. He may have fallen from a predator's grip or been hit by a bicyclist as he attempted to leave his grassy cover. I found some posies nearby and created a memorial. I imagined his family wondering why he didn't return. I recently discovered the work of an anthropologist and conservationist, Dr. Amanda Stronza, who teaches at Texas A&M. She too creates beautiful memorials she posts on Instagram in photos, along with imagined stories of the lives of those she finds. Her work is exquisite. I reached out to her last week, and she graciously shared these photos and the why behind her practice as a non-religious individual. These are her words, penned after happening upon this skunk. I found her on a quiet suburban street, her body slumped against a curb. Her last moment was crossing between the tree-lined sidewalks of an elementary school. I worried about picking her up, not because of the smell or her injuries or the blood, but because I worried people in that particular neighborhood, would be disgusted if they saw me carrying a dead animal, a skunk, of all beings. I waited for a clearing. It was easy. There wasn't much traffic. I wrapped her in a towel and drove her 3 miles to my house, to the patch of woods where I brought the others. People say these memorials are beautiful, that they are even a form of art. I am so grateful for such generous words. But if I may, the beauty we're seeing is in the animal, is the animal. It's what we can see when we dare to look even after death. That's the art. Offering her a place to rest that reflects who she was, her life where she belonged, not the curb, the flowers and leaves and grasses she knew. That's the beauty. It's all her. There are many reasons why I and many others I've learned stop. It allows me to bear witness to, be present with, and care for this unique and precious other in death whose life mattered. It reconnects me with the community of creation, reminding me of the moral and aesthetic responsibilities we have to the creaturely. Caring for the dead also serves the living, allowing fellow members of the species to safely grieve the loss should they still be in the vicinity, and me the space to feel and not ignore because it's hard the loss of this beautiful being. I recently read somewhere that grief is the tax we pay on the loves of our lives, part of the emotional economics of creation. Through it all, I have noticed I am much more attentive and aware of my surroundings. Approximately 400,000 animals are killed on roads in this country each year. And that number, as we continue to encroach upon our non-human brothers and sisters' habitats, will surely rise. Last week, Matthew shared that how we mark endings is part of each of our wheels. Marking the endings of our non-human brothers and sisters places us back in the wheel of traditions together with all sentient beings at the hub. During this time of global pandemic, we are invited, we are called, we are challenged to greater empathy and compassion, generosity and solidarity with those with whom we journey on this planet, especially those more vulnerable than ourselves. Consider placing a pair of surgical gloves, a box or a paper bag for birds, and place wildflowers in your car to have available and practice with the next beautiful being you encounter who has taken her last breath. Gently move the body out of harm's way and whisper a blessing. The Shishian, an indigenous people from the Pacific Northwest, believe the world is a box containing all the souls, human and non-human, of the universe. I often speak these words: O carver of the box of souls, receive this one who journeys from our house, then send the sun back to our door at dawn. Just like the tale of the person tossing starfish back into the sea, one at a time, each broken body matters. May it be so. We remember an ancient story of creation adapted from the book of Genesis. At the beginning of the heavens and the earth, when the earth was wild and waste, darkness over the face of deep, a rushing spirit wind hovered over the face of the deep. And life speaks in every generation, saying, let there be light, and there is light. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
We are grateful for the light by which we see and perceive ourselves and the world.
And life speaks in every generation, saying, let the waters of the earth come together in one place, and let there be a dome to hold back the waters above the earth. And so it is that immense oceans are formed and great lakes. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
We are grateful for water, which nourishes all life.
Then life looks upon the dry land that has been formed, the soil from which all plants grow. Life names the dry land earth and declares that this is good.
We are grateful for soil in which all plants and trees are rooted.
And life speaks in every generation, saying, let growing things come forth from the soil. Let there be plants with their own kinds of seeds. Let there be peas and beans, corn and cabbage. And so plants grow, each with their own seed. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
We are grateful for plants, which are our food, and for all growing things.
And life speaks in every generation, saying, let there be flowers of all kinds to brighten the earth. And so it is that colorful flowers come forth from the soil, yellow and gold flowers, pink and purple flowers, flowers to delight the eye and gladden the heart. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
We are grateful for flowers which brighten our days.
And life speaks in every generation, saying, let trees be rooted in the soil. And so it is that trees of all kinds take root in the soil. Trees with delicious fruits to eat, and other trees of many kinds, maple and mahogany, cedar and cypress, oak and aspen. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
We are grateful for trees, the largest of all plants, which provide oxygen for our next breath.
And life speaks in every generation, saying, let the waters bring forth living creatures of all kinds. And so it is that sea creatures of all kinds come into being, from great whales to tiny minnows, every kind of creature that lives in the waters. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
We are grateful for all creatures who live in the water.
And life's heart speaks, saying, let birds fly in the heavens. And so it is that creatures with wings appear, from great hawks to tiny hummingbirds. Every kind of creature that flies in the air, and life sees that it was good.
We are grateful for creatures that fly in the air and give us the courage to try the sky.
And life's heart speaks, saying, let the earth bring forth living creatures. This is when wild beasts appear, and snakes that crawl on the ground, and mice and rabbits, deer and dogs, cats and cows, all the animals that live upon the earth. And this too is good.
We are grateful for animals who are our closest kin.
And the divine heart speaks, saying, let us become creatures in our own image and likeness to watch over and protect everything we have made. So human beings emerge in the image and likeness of the life we are made, all genders and none.
We are grateful for the gift of human life.
And life blesses the human creatures with the ability to choose, to create, and to destroy, and charges us with the care of the whole creation. And life sees all that has been created, and the divine spirit is in all that had been created. And life sees all of this and declares, this is good.
Last year, with our first Reverence for Life animal blessing, we went to Zoom to make it possible. And it was fun. It was awkward, but it was fun and still meaningful. And again, in observance of St. Francis Sunday, we did the same thing, only this time you sent in your pictures so that Ginny, Mikita, and I could offer blessings to those images in our service. This year, we tried something different yet again, and you sent in your pictures of creation, and you sent in your pictures of companions in your life, past and present. And so in a moment, as the music is offered to us and we see these images of your creation and your companions, we will hold that space to bless them and honor the blessings that they are to us. For those of you at home who do have a companion nearby, I encourage you to bless them virtually, somewhat like last year. And for all of us who deeply value life and creation and companionship, let us hear this blessing and hold these values close to our hearts. Will you join me for a moment in this ritualistic blessing? Thank you for the gifts of love, joy, beauty, and other blessings that you bring or brought to my life, our home, and our world. May you always be filled with loving kindness. May you be ever safe with feelings of inner comfort and free of outer dangers. May you be well in your body and in your mind. May you be at ease and happy. And may it be so. Across many of the world's great religious and spiritual traditions, there's this idea that we are called to love all life, to love all creation, to love all neighbors as we have first been loved. That is a theme that we can lift up on this Reverence for Life Sunday, and it's also something that we live out in a many host of ways here at Fountain Street Church and in our personal lives. One of the tangible ways in which we express love for others is through the ingathering of our gifts that we call the offering. Here at Fountain Street Church, we have a rich tradition of sharing half of those gifts directly with the community through our social action grants, and the other half stays here so that we can live out that commandment institutionally and as a congregation. When you give to our offering, either through the Venmo or the text to give, or even a check sent to the church, you are embodying this love beyond these walls as we seek ways to partner with the community and support the efforts that are already happening right here in our very midst. And so with the spirit of love for all and love for all creation and even our neighbor, the offering will now be taken and your gifts will be most graciously received. An unfathomable and undeniable amount of gratitude needs to go out this morning to those who have made this celebration of Reverence for Life possible. To our very own Danny Heck and Connor Bardalis, we extend profound gratitude and deep appreciation for everything, and I mean everything, that they have done to roll with us in the wildness that this service brings every year so that we can offer it virtually. Thank you, both of you, for your patience, your knowledge, your gifts, and yes, your resilience as you have worked with us to make this possible. We also extend our gratitude this morning to Ed Clifford, Steve Talaga, Charlie Hoats, and Randy Marsh for their incredible contributions of music this morning. Thank you to each of them for bringing us this music today. We know that every week this hour of shared worship is not our last connecting point or the last ways in which we exist as a community with one another. One of the ways that we can draw together as a community is through the deepening, which takes place immediately following this service via Zoom. You can find the Zoom link to enter the deepening in the email that went out this morning, or you can reach out to our social media platforms and somebody will be ready to share the link with you. We hope to see you there. This is also a gentle reminder that starting Memorial Day weekend, we have the Summer Speaker Series to look forward to. This is another way in which we grow deeper as a community and hear the stories and the insights and the wisdom of those right from our very own congregation. This will be running this year from Memorial Day through Labor Day, and we thank the Religious Services Committee for pulling this together once again. Finally, there will be a governing board town hall meeting this Thursday. You can look for more information about that in the emails that will go out this week, but mark your calendars for that time of connecting and growing deeper again as a community. The phrase Reverence for Life is indeed a borrowed one that was taken from the late theologian and humanitarian Albert Schweitzer. And in his biography, it was defined as followed. Reverence for Life says that the only thing we are really sure of is that we live and want to go on living. That is something that we share with one another, and we share with everything else that lives, from elephants to blades of grass, and, of course, with every human being. So we are brothers and sisters to all living things, and owe to all of them the same care and respect that we wish for ourselves. That last line bears repeating. So we are brothers and sisters to all living things and owe to all of them the same care and respect that we wish for ourselves. We might use more contemporary framing to underscore this ethical assumption, but the truth still remains today, specifically in religious communities. We do. We strive for experiencing the fullness of life, and it is our mandate that all of humanity and all of life experiences this fullness as well. Suffering and oppression, injustice and exploitation are systems of evil. We know this. But how often do we truly practice a posture or a lifestyle or a pattern of reverence for life? What are we doing in our lives, not only in the most dramatic moments, but in the mundane that honors a reverence for life, a reverence for our own life, and a reverence for lives of others? So as we go forward this week into this Earth Week as it is, may we all embody what it means to revere life. And may we all practice what it means to respect ourselves and care for one another so that our reverence might bring a world that is embraced in radical love, radical inclusivity, and radical and lasting justice. May it be so. Happy Earth Day. Amen.